Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and the iPhone 11 Pro Max has been out for some time now, about 5 months or longer depending on when you're watching this video, and I wanted to talk about how its durability has been because I don't use a case or a screen protector. And of course you could say, well, why don't you just use a case and screen protector? But there's a couple of reasons for that. One of them is I like the feel of the phone without a case, so I like the texture on the back. And I also like the screen without a screen protector. I think it adds to the experience when you don't use a screen protector as opposed to using a screen protector. However, because this glass seems to be, well, not as good as previous versions, I would say I sort of wish I put a screen protector on here. And I'll talk more about that in just a moment. But other than that, I don't drop my phone. I have never dropped this phone on any hard surface, and I take care of my phones very well. I only put them on desks and things like this, as well as maybe a table or maybe the arm of a couch or something along those lines, because I'm just very careful with my phones. If it's not there, it's in my pocket or it's on a wireless charger in my car or in my home next to my bed. So those are the only places it's usually set down, and I'm very careful where I put it. I also don't put my phone face down much of the time because it's really only for videos and photos like this, and I make sure the surface is nice and clean. So really I don't worry about scratching too much, and I haven't had too many issues in the past, but this one could be a little bit better. Now the first thing is the stainless steel outside frame. It's held up really well, and it tends to not show many scratches, even if it does have some scratches compared to, say, some of the other ones. Because it's stainless steel, it's very hard, and maybe if you have a silver one, it would show more scratches. I know on the XS Max it would show a little bit more, and it does have a few scratches that you can see in the correct light. But in this light, you probably don't see anything. I don't see anything either right now, and you will have a few right here, but not too many. And this coating or whatever Apple has on the frame holds up really well. The back glass, because it's textured, seems to hold up incredibly well. Some people I have seen have some rubbing down here at the bottom, and that used to be really typical of the aluminum phones. If you had a space gray iPhone 6s Plus, I'll show you in a moment, you would get some rubbing down here where it would kind of wear off. And so this is holding up really well. You might have a little bit of that here, but most of the time you don't notice it because of the textured glass. I also don't have any issues with the cameras, so the cameras being set on tables over and over, there's no scratches on the lenses or anything, and it's holding up really well. So without a case, there's no problems with those, no scratches, nothing interfering with taking good photos and video, so I'm really happy with that. The area where I think it could use a little bit of work is really the glass. The glass is fine as far as feeling like glass and feeling durable, but it scratches, it seems, much easier than before, and I've talked about this in a separate video, but the glass really has quite a few scratches on it compared to a phone that's over 4 years old, this iPhone 6s Plus. Of course, this is going to have scratches on it. It was used the same way with and without a case. It was used by family members. And I'll show you the glass in a moment. It does have more scratches on the 6s Plus, but quite a few on the 11 Pro Max. I would imagine if this is 4 years old, it's going to have an unusable amount of scratches on there where you would need to replace the display. Now the frame, like I said before, on a 6s Plus, you can see down here in the bottom right, there is a little bit of wear just from setting it on a table. That's pretty typical of the aluminum ones if you're not using a case. And there's a little bit of color changes and things like that if it had a case around it or a skin. So that's not too much of a concern on the 11 Pro Max. It's holding up well there. But if we take a look at the actual display, let me wipe this off first so we can see it and then brighten the lights. And I'll clean this off a little bit. And this is not an advertisement, but a lot of you ask what I use. And I use this stuff called iClear. And Apple used this originally in the Apple stores years ago when Steve Jobs was still around. And this stuff is really good. It puts kind of a film on the phone. And I still use it to this day. I'll leave a link in the description. It will be an affiliate link, but this is not a paid advertisement or anything. It's just I get the question all the time, what do I use? So I use this, and it comes with a nice microfiber cloth. So I'll wipe it down so you can see it without any fingerprints. Let's go ahead and do that. And there we go. And let's turn the lights up so that we can actually maybe see some of these. It takes really bright light along the lines of sunlight in order to show the scratches. Now I have the lights turned way up, and there are a lot of scratches on here, particularly in the center. And I can only assume they're from putting the phone in my pocket. I don't really know what they're from. I don't ever use anything near the phone. It doesn't go in the pocket with keys or anything like that. It's the only thing in my pocket, and there's scratches across the display all over the place just from normal use. Now, if I bring in the 6S Plus to compare, like I said, it has a ton of scratches as well. And let me wipe this off a little bit more. It's got some fingerprints still. But this one has a ton of scratches as well. But the amount compared to what we have in 5 months versus 4 years, I'm surprised how many there are on a newer display. Even though this one has more, I'm surprised that only after 5 months I have this many scratches on it. So I really wish I could get the screen replaced, but unfortunately Apple won't replace it unless it's damaged. So I'm not going to damage the display so they can replace it. So maybe if it does get cracked, I'll have it replaced, but otherwise I just have to deal with the scratches. And then if I do get another one, I'll get a screen protector. And so the durability of the phone is great otherwise. I've had no issues with the speakers, no issues with anything else. Reception is kind of software based at this point, or firmware based, and the battery's holding up really well. You'll see my battery health is at 100%, and I charge this wirelessly all night long, or if it's in my car, it's charged wirelessly. I rarely use a plug for charging this, and if I do use one, it's usually my MacBook Pro charger that's about 98 watts. It will really only go up to a certain amount, 18 or 28 watts, and it won't go over that. But I rarely fast charge it unless I'm at a show such as CES where I really need to get some more power on the go. Otherwise, it's always wireless charging at about 7.5 watts, no issues, and it's at 100% battery health. But durability overall seems to be okay, except the display. It's holding up just as well as any of the others, but the XS Max lasted me a lot longer than this without scratches. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, and I've never cracked a screen, so maybe I will in the future, but just using this, I've never cracked a display or anything like that. I've only had one water damaged after it fell into water in a lake. So other than that, it's had no issues, and that was my XS Max. My 11 Pro Max is holding up well, and I would love to hear from you if you have an 11, 11 Pro, or 11 Pro Max, or even your older phone. What do you have, and how is it holding up for you? Do you use a screen protector and a case, or if you don't, how's the scratches on it? I would love to hear from you, and also if you use a screen protector, which one do you think is the best? Let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to get your hands on this wallpaper, I'll link it in the description as I always do. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.